Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hi guys, hi everybody, welcome back. I'm so excited because I love 90 Day Fiancé the other way, and not to mention, I'm playing with new equipment. So it's just getting better and better, and I wanted to say before we start off, thank you guys again so much for all of your support, love, and donations to our channel. Obviously, as you can see with the quality, things are just getting better and better. We're opening our merch store this week. I'm super excited. I'm actually going to kind of do a little surprise pop-up anytime this week, maybe even tonight, where I'm going to put our logo shirts on the merch store. But this Friday, Popping Off with Pops, we're going to officially launch the merch store with our surprise feature artist of the month. So it's going to be super exciting. And of course, at 10K, Jason's coming out soon. So we have fun surprises. It'll be fun. With that being said, guys, let's jump into 90 Day Fiancé the other way. All right, guys, so the first couple I'm going to jump in on is Jenny and Sumit. Since our thumbnail represents them and pretty much how his family feels about Jenny, I just wanted to go ahead and start with them. I feel like that's appropriate. Okay, so Jenny and Sumit, obviously we know that they have a 31-year age gap. Guys, that's massive. And finally, we get to see his parents. We find out exactly why his parents don't like Jenny in the first place, and I'm starting to understand a little bit. It's not just the age gap, it's that they feel completely deceived. They feel lied to. So Jenny was actually living in the parents' house on the 3rd floor for about 4 months. Okay. And when she was living on the 3rd floor, Sumit was sneaking up in the middle of the night in the same house under the same roof with the parents, sneaking up to hang out with Jenny. Obviously, they were doing their thing, and I think the parents feel incredibly disrespected. They feel like Jenny was supposed to act as a mother figure, and they felt like Jenny came into their house as a friend. And now all of a sudden, they have this relationship where Jenny's hooking up with their son when she's more than, she's a 31-year age gap. I get what they're saying. Again, love shouldn't have any number on it, but now they feel like Sumit has completely smash their dreams of becoming grandparents. They just love Sumit so much, and they want to watch him be a dad. They want to watch him kind of flourish into adulthood, but they feel like Jenny has completely come in and robbed them of that, really. So here's the thing, guys. Jenny is on a tourist visa. Every 6 months, she has to leave India and she has to come back, right? So she doesn't want to do that anymore, and Sumit doesn't want to do that either. So the solution to this is to get married. So they're going to try to get married, and while they don't technically need his parents to sign off on that, I guess, they do need to make sure that his parents aren't going to interject into the marriage, because they can mess all of this up. Jenny and Sumit are just trying to get the parents' full blessings, and obviously we didn't get that this episode. It was kind of a buildup. But again, we did see how they feel about Jenny, and I'm starting to see why they felt a little bit deceived. I get it now. I understand. It makes sense. Guys, we have 79 in the room. Let's hit 100. Everybody on the way into the room, please like it. Like this video. It helps tremendously. But let's move on to the next couple. Deavan and Jihoon. Ooh. Okay, so Jihoon is alone with the kids. We see Deavan end up going out for tea with her mom, and Alicia... Oh, sorry, guys. And we're figuring out the equipment. All right. Just want to make sure that you guys can hear me. Okay, perfect. Just figuring out the equipment, guys. 84 in the room. Let's hit 100. As for Jihoon and Deavan is pretty much, she's at odds with her mom with this whole Jihoon thing, right? So she sees that Alicia's not happy. Alicia is scared for Deavan to be stuck at home with Jihoon. She thinks that this is not going to work. She thinks that it's going to be a disaster pretty much. I see what she's talking about after Drusilla ran off and Jihoon didn't chase after her. And obviously, Alicia's going to hold a grudge. She's never going to let Jihoon get away with this. Jihoon said, "I'm sorry," and she doesn't care. She doesn't want his apologies. She's pretty much like, you can take your "I'm sorry" and you can shove it. It means nothing to me, because if you kill my granddaughter, I'm going to kill you. That's intense, guys, because Alicia is pretty scary. Devan's mom, I don't know if she's a realist or a pessimist, if she just wants Devan to come back, or if she realizes that Jihoon maybe is just not fit. Again, we're watching him in these episodes and we see him borrowing money from his mom. We see him just not able to hold a job. We see the fact that he just continuously is lying to Devan. And like Alicia said, the one thing I kind of agree with is he's acting like a 16-year-old boy. The guy is not really getting it together. But he does have his hands full. We're watching him in the episode and Drusilla's pounding him in the head, like nailing him, and he's like, stop, Drusilla, stop, while he's holding baby Taeyang. Like, that's a lot in itself. But really, dude, if you just go get a job, Devan will take care of the babies and you can come home and just contribute when you're not working. So the whole point is just go get a job. If you had a job, Devan would be happy. You're not getting hit in the face. You get to leave and you get to have your happy family. I think that's great. Devan loves Jihoon, but she wants her family together, but she's only going to give him one last chance. He can't mess up again. I see, obviously we get to see Alicia get sent off to the airport and Jihoon's like, I will miss you. Alicia doesn't say anything. She has the biggest, she's so stone cold. She doesn't even, she kind of, again, she scares me a little bit. And when she leaves, she's like, okay, bye. And Jihoon's like, yes, Mama Alicia is gone. She's out of here. And he feels like he can finally breathe. I get that too. Understandably, when you have parents in the house, especially when you're in a transitional period, like this one, she's all the way in Korea and they have a new baby. He's a new parent and there's Drusilla. Having the grandma there, that's just nuts. So Jihoon feels like he can finally breathe, but I'm sure Devan's like, oh, things are about to get real. But we'll see, guys. Obviously, we know the outcome of this, and we know that Devan's not with Jihoon anymore. She's with Jihoon 2.0, as they call him. But I still want to see how it plays out. And I also caught the shade, too, when Alicia looked at Taeyang and was like, oh, okay, bye, little baby. You're the man of the house now. She loves throwing shade at Jihoon. All right, guys, let's move on to Ariela and Binyam. We have 107 in the room. Let's go to 120. Ariela and Binyam. So Ariela is feeling lonely and sad, and it's only the first night without her mom. So she's really not giving this a chance. At the end, I start to take her side a little bit more at the end of this episode. But at the beginning, when she's like, I can leave, if we're not getting along, I don't know why I need to be here, blah, blah, blah. It's like you understood who you got pregnant by. You know the country of Ethiopia. You traveled it before you came back to America and kind of carried out most of your pregnancy. She knew what she was going back to. So I don't know, aside from obviously boosted up emotions from being pregnant, I don't know what she's really expecting. It's been one day. And she acts like they got into this big, huge fight like Kalani and Asuelu, and they didn't. He was just telling her, trust me, this is family. Family is important. We can do this together. And I think now it's starting to hit her. Now that her mom's not there and she's realizing, okay, this is going to be my life in Ethiopia and it's going to be third world. It's starting to hit. She went to go look at an apartment to kind of put him at ease. And Binyam wants him to stay at the cousin's apartment. But the cousin's apartment is lackluster. We'll say that. It's lackluster and dangerous. There's wires hanging from the ceiling in the bathroom. Nothing's done. There's holes missing in the floor. There's walls out, windows out. It's all over the place. So she obviously doesn't feel like this is a suitable place for a baby. Understandably so. She finds another apartment for $1,400 a month. And Binyam was all smiles till he found out the price. The warm water, the Wi-Fi. Binyam's like, I'm going to live like a king. This is great. $1,400 a month. That's pricey in America. So let alone in Ethiopia, I could see where he's like, no way. He only makes $500 US a month with all of his jobs, personal trainer, dancer, nightclub, connoisseur, whatever Binyam is, he only makes $500 a month, and 170 of it, he planned on going to his cousin's apartment, the one with the holes in the floor and the wires hanging. He's not going to pay for $1,400 a month for that kind of apartment. And we know Ariela's family, they're not going to pay for an apartment because they want her to come back. Even though they were supportive, we know that they're not going to pay for that. Ariela's starting to see that this isn't going to be as comfortable as she thought. And the third world is starting to set in, guys. I'm feeling it 100% with her. It's setting in and she's getting flared up like mad. She's like, I'm not staying in that apartment. And he's like, oh, you're so angry. Calm down. He's like, you can't leave. I can leave. And it's like, oh, okay. She's getting heated up because she's like, you had all of this time. You're saying it takes a week to set up this apartment. You had all of this time and you didn't set up any apartment. You didn't do anything. You know, you want us to stay here with the baby and you want me to feel bad for you when your other baby left. But what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to stay here and feel bad for you? Or while I'm pregnant and I can still travel and go have my baby in America, do I do that? Follow her on social media and we know what her decision was, unless she's playing along with it for TLC, which she could be, because if you were smart, you would play along. You already filmed. You want to keep the money from your contract. And a lot of these people, the castmates, I hate using this word, but some of them are idiots because they film all of this crap. They go through all of the headache of it. And then they post something prematurely on social media and they have to get back all of their $20-something thousand paycheck. So it doesn't make sense. Just keep your mouth shut. So Ariela could be fooling us. She's smart. And her mom, I mean, they're smart people. Ariela has a few weeks left to travel. Yes. Again, she said that they weren't getting along after one day. I did kind of freak out a little bit for her in the car when he's like, shut up. I'd be like, dude, do not tell me to shut up, especially pregnant. I'd rip somebody's head off. I feel like she handled that very well. But we'll see. All right, guys, let's move on to Kenneth and Armando. Their storyline wasn't as huge this episode. We're kind of getting a build-up from them, just like Jenny and Sumit, I feel. With this episode, we see that Kenny's family, his daughters, they're going back to Florida, and we say our goodbyes. I thought it was kind of sweet that the daughters were pointing out the fact that Kenny's really bonding with Armando's daughter. I thought that was super sweet, and that they like that he gets a chance to be a girl dad again. Well, they called him a mom. But then we see where they're about to take this long trek to go meet Armando's family. Armando's nerves are just, trust me, guys, I've been there. This is an awful feeling when you have the buildup, the angst of going to not come out to his family because he's done that, but going to introduce somebody to your family. It's awful. It's gut-wrenching. If you think it's bad when you're straight, it's definitely terrible when you're gay, especially when there's a child involved. I couldn't even imagine that. So good luck, Kenny and Armando. As we can see in the episode to come, we're waiting for somebody to answer the door, and I really hope this works out for him because Armando seems like a good guy. There's a lot riding on this, and Kenny feels like this can make or break their relationship. He feels like if Armando doesn't get the approval that he's seeking from the parents, that maybe they won't have a long-term relationship and maybe their relationship can't stand a chance. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link because I only have two more couples to talk about. But I'm curious, we've talked about this before. I think we talked about this last week. Why would Kenny and Armando not move to a more touristy area of Mexico? That way we could ease Kenny into this a little bit easier. Puerto Vallarta, Cancun. And I know those are like super touristy, but like something, something that would just make him a little bit more at ease. I'm going to go ahead and drop this link for you guys. 142 in the room, guys. Let's hit 150. All right. So I'm going to hit Tim and Melyza, and then I'm going to hit Brittany and Yazan. I'm not trying to butcher her name. Melyza. Tim and Melyza. Melyza's funny because she gives total Courtney K vibes. She's not into it. Anything that Tim says, she's just like, she gives you the stone cold face. And she hears from Tim that, the job search isn't working out. She's like, okay, so what's pretty much the solution as they met up for drinks? And Tim explains, I'm probably not going to get a job without a work visa, or if you don't marry me. Pretty much you have to marry me for me to get a job. And she's like, that's not going to happen. That's the last thing on my list to do. Pretty much it's no chance in hell this is not happening. I don't even know if I can say that on YouTube, but I just can't even believe he brought this to her. She didn't even budge for this. Melyza, at this point, she feels like she's sacrificing a lot with her family and kind of putting herself out there with somebody that they don't want her to be with. And Tim feels like he's the one sacrificing everything. Here's where Tim made the mistake, though. Tim ended up telling Melyza that he kept his job back home just in case anything happened, which kind of, in my head, I would feel like you just entered this relationship like half ASS. I would feel like you entered into this relationship having a backup plan just in case something went wrong, almost like you weren't 100% in. And I think that's what's running through Melyza's mind right now. Tim is getting frustrated because he's trying to have a conversation with her and he's trying to explain to her everything that he's done for her. And she's hurt. You can tell. They need to take this relationship, take it in the backyard, dig a 6-foot hole and put it in it and then just cover it back up, because this relationship is shit. And I only say that because Tim has already butchered the relationship with the infidelity. Melyza, she doesn't even look like she likes this man. She looks like she's disgusted by him. He has his backup plan. Her family doesn't like him. Her family is everything to her. Let's call it what it is and can this relationship. And I'm actually done talking about it until I bring up callers. I want to talk about a more crappy relationship than that. Let's talk about Brittany and Yazan. So this is our last couple of 90 Day Fiancé the other way, Brittany and Yazan, and they're all over the place. Brittany wants to go to Chicago, and her excuse is because her sister's having a baby. That's a good excuse. And I'm surprised, as controlling as everybody seems over there in Jordan, I'm surprised that Yazan's actually letting Brittany go, but I think it's because they're not married yet, so she still has some sort of control in her life, which we know they're not going to get married. But I feel like had she had been married to Yazan, she wouldn't have been able to just pick up and go to Chicago like that. But really, Brittany ended up filing for divorce in Chicago originally, so she got an email saying that she has to show up in court to finalize her divorce, and that's why she's going back to Chicago. The kicker is, Yazan has a weird feeling and feels like Brittany is lying about this. And Yazan feels like things just aren't adding up. He's starting to question things. Brittany's trying to get something done without Yazan and his family finding out that she's lying, because God knows what's going to happen to her if they find out in Jordan that she's been lying the whole time. It's going to put shame on their family. It puts shame on their name. And again, guys, we've seen on social media, she's talked about the King of Jordan. She's gone above and beyond just talking about Yazan and his family. So she's already thrown shame that way. We know she's not going back there. If she does, I would be fearful for her. I feel like she would not be welcome. With that being said, on this topic, I want to bring up our first caller that came in, Andrea.
Hi, Adam.
Hi, how are you?
Oh my gosh. Oh. So I want to talk about Yanni and Sumit. Honestly, I don't care for that couple. Just meh, filler. But when I saw the way that she was expressing about his parents, like, I was like, oh, okay, that's a bit rough. Like, I get why you are annoyed that you guys can't be together, but like, they're still his parents. You have to respect them. And then when I heard from Sumit's parents that she had stayed for 4 months when they thought that it was only going to be like a couple of days, maybe a week, that they were super nice to her, and she paid them back by defiling their house, because I don't have another way to say that. Like, that's super disrespectful.
Oh, I couldn't, when I found out about that, I was like, I get why the parents don't like you now. Like, this is a piece of the story we've been missing this whole time. And if it were just an age thing, then you're fighting for them. You hope it works. But the point is, you're giggling on TV, and this isn't America. I'm American, but this isn't America, and this is obviously, I think, even in America, it's disrespectful to come into somebody's parents' home when they live with their parents and sleep with them. But I'm sure when they take it more serious in other cultures where you live with the parents until you're married off and you go away, that has to be incredibly disrespectful.
It is. Yeah. And honestly, if that was my house and if that was my mom, I'm sure she would have kicked out that woman out of our house, because how dare you? Honestly.
Yeah.
And then you're saying like, oh, now she has to accept it. She has to be done with it. And like, well, yeah, girl, calm down. First of all, you're old enough to be his mother. That's a reality.
And that's what they're trying to say. They're like, we feel like she should have stepped in as more of a motherly figure, and she didn't. She hooked up with him, and that was the betrayal. They trusted the age. They didn't think that she was going to cross that line.
Yeah, and look, I don't care about the age that much. It's their life. They can do whatever they want. But they should have been more like intelligent about it. Like, they were doing things good, like meeting the family, being like respectful and slowly doing it, like approaching it. But no, they just jumped right into And
Yeah.
that's not gonna work. And from Tim and Melyza, honestly, I don't know why they even bother. The way that she just glares at him.
I
She
know.
hates that man.
She hates that man. Andrea, I appreciate you calling in. I'm going to go ahead and I have a full room. I'm going to try to get everybody in. If you want, stay on, and then I'll bring you up at the end.
Alrighty.
All right. All right. I'm going to go ahead and bring up some other callers. I'm going to bring up 2 at a time. Hi, Hermione. Hi, Lady O.
Hey.
Hello. How
Hi,
you
guys.
doing?
All right, Hermione. How are you? Good.
I'm good, thank you. Can I
Good.
just have a disclaimer?
Yes.
I'm like a coconut in a sugarcane field because English is not my first language.
No, that's okay. What couple did you want to talk about first?
Firstly, I wanted to talk about Sumit and Jenny. She was already there, 4 or 5 years ago. Did the parents not pick up that there was more to
Well, they
them
said it in
and
the
to their
episode.
relationship?
They said in the episode that they started to notice that he was spending. Well, the dad started to notice that Sumit was spending more time at night talking to Jenny, and that they were forming this relationship. And then once they kind of figured that out, is when we had to get rid of Jenny. But they continued this relationship. But I again, like I just said before to Andrea, I feel now, us knowing this piece of the puzzle, I feel like Jenny really disrespected the family. I think that if you want to sleep with this man, go sleep with him at a hotel or do something else, but don't just like fly into India, go sleep under their roof and start hooking up with their son when they're trusting you as a friend that they're bringing in because they trust your age. I think that is crazy.
Exactly. In my culture, that's a no-no.
Yeah,
You
Lady O.
definitely don't sleep.
Yeah. Lady O, what do you think?
I completely agree with you guys. 100%.
Yeah. What did you think about Brittany and Yazan trying to sneak away back to Chicago? Do you think we're going to get her back in Jordan?
Oh, well, as far as Brittany goes, so I want to say this whole time since this season began, I've been dogging out both of them, Brittany and Yazan, and I was saying that he was playing 2 sides, but my opinion has changed. I think that he's a genuinely cared for her and likes her for who she is, but also wants to have her ingrained in his family and see her more as like, okay, you can be wild at home, but I like your personality, but I definitely want you to also respect my culture because you're going to be living here. We didn't decide to live in America.
Yeah,
exactly. And I just feel like she's the biggest liar and the biggest child. And I feel bad. I'm starting to feel bad for Yazan because I think he's putting forth a mature effort to really have her understand where he's coming from. And she's just playing a game. And it's kind of whack to see because as a woman, it's like, well, I wouldn't want to do doing that to me. You know what I mean?
And you see in the episode coming up where she has her hair done, she's sitting in the hotel or the apartment, wherever she's sitting, and she starts like popping off on Yazan. And she's like, you could tell she feels comfortable. She's back in her element. So she's going to say whatever she wants. She's going to wear whatever she wants. She's going to post things to like piss him off. We can see this already.
Yeah, but it's a dangerous game she's playing because that culture and the Kurdish people and the people in that culture, their family honor is such a big deal that you can get murdered still today just because of disfouling your family, because it's a social status in those Islamic countries. Not for all in the city, but if you're from those royal parts and very conservative countries like Yemen and Jordan, if you mess with that family's honor and they have a business, no other reputable families will do business with them. So she is tarnishing more than just her own reputation, and she's making herself look horrible, but she's also making it hard for his family. You guys don't really realize the severity of this. If you really understood that culture, it's not a game, and she's really just playing it like a game, and it's kind of, we're just watching like it's cringy, you know?
It really is. And then just to have the audacity to speak out on the King of Jordan, it's like, this is crazy.
Yeah, that is a no. That's like having your a bullseye on your back, honey.
This is
that's like signing your death warrant.
Yeah,
you would not be able to go back.
Heck yeah. And
Well-
I did want to add one piece about
Yeah.
Arabella. I just thought it was really, did you guys think it's really weird how she just changed flip the switch with
Who?
with the Binyam? I feel like Arabella, I feel like she's been so calm, so nice, and it's just like, you have all these concerns now, you're feeling yourself now, and she's yelling at him in public, and it's
Now
like,
her
why
mom
didn't
is
you voice-
gone, so she's freaking out.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. But I'm just like, why didn't you voice these concerns? You knew the living arrangement and the conditions when you first got over there. You knew you were pregnant. You knew you were about to have a baby in Ethiopia. Why didn't you explain this to him before? Now it's the last minute. You're gonna give birth in 24 hours, and you're getting all crazy with him.
It was
And I
sugar
just-
coated by the mom. That's why her mom was
Okay.
paying for everything.
Good
Now her
point.
mom's gone, and she's like, "Oh,
Yeah, but I felt that she was really what are you like, kind of attacking his manhood there. I felt like she really was. I saw like a sadness in his eye.
yeah."
Like, I really saw sadness. I felt like, wow, you couldn't handle that a little more diplomatically, lady. Like, I know it's about a child. I know it's real life issues, but it's just like, there's a way to communicate about it. And I think he would have been open to it. He seems like, of all these people on the show this season, he's like one of the most mature, straightforward, and honest people. I think they just have a communication barrier. But last night it was like kind of weird to see that side of her. She seemed almost threatening, like as she was using the baby as leverage. Like, you need to do what So
Can I just ask a question?
Yeah.
With this whole thing of her now being baptized and the baby needs to suck on a Christian teeth, what if the baby doesn't latch?
oh Lord.
Does the baby go to hell?
Then you just what you do is you nurse said Christian teeth with one of those nursing things that you can buy at Walmart or
Yeah, get a
Ethiopian
pump.
Walmart, and then you
Go to the
Christian
church,
do
find
that.
a lady who's lactating, and use a pump, lady. It's not that serious.
Yeah, you use a Christian pump. You baptize that way. That's it. For every problem, I like to find a solution. I'm working on one for this damn camera right now, as you guys can tell. So I like to find solutions for problems. We'll find a Christian pump. It'll be great. But I do have a few other callers in the room. Lady
All
O
right.
and Bermuda. I'm going to drop you guys down, bring some more up, and then stay on. And I'll bring you up at the end.
Cool beans. See you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Lydia.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. How funny is that? I'm going to go ahead and bring up some more callers. And Ariela and Binyam, let's talk about this really quick for the callers that I bring up, because Ariela was she did flip the script, but I really think it has everything to do with her mom leaving. Let's see. Who are we going to bring up right now? Pearl? Dorit?
Good
Carla?
morning.
Hi, guys. Good morning.
Hello. Hi, Adam. Hi, Carla. Hi, Dorit.
All right, Pearl, I'm going to let you
Hello.
go first. What did you think about Ariela and Binyam and Ariela kind of freaking out?
I think Ariela she comes across as someone that's really naive and quite immature, because wasn't she married to some guy she met on holiday in Argentina or something? You know, she was married and she was
She was married
divorced.
to him for 10 years, though. They had a legit marriage and a legit
Was it
relationship.
10 years? How old is she?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's
But I
20,
feel-
about 30.
Oh, okay. Because I just feel like surely you knew all these, like, you've been to this country, you know what it's like. What did you think was going to happen? You know, I mean, I did agree with her in one point where Binyam kept saying 1 week, and she said, well, you had, her mom has been there 2 weeks, and he's been saying 1 week from day one, so he should have completed the apartment by now. So I did agree with her in that bit where he keeps saying he needs 1 week. I don't think it's going to be 1 week. And I think that part did frustrate her, and I did get that point. But I mean, does she have a job in America? We don't know anything about her, her past. Her mom is a nurse and her dad's a doctor. And generally, if you come from that sort of family where everyone's a professional, you tend to gear towards that way. So I wonder what she did. Was she just traveling and living off her parents, or did she have a job or a career?
Well, I think that she was. I just what I'm not understanding is I feel like every time before was just a vacation, and now she's
Right.
really starting to understand the third world, like the weight of the differences, and not coming from. She comes from just a bougier background, and that's no disrespect. It's a more. I feel Dorit's very straight up. Dorit, please.
Well, she's lived a privileged life. She traveled all over the world, financed by her parents. She was on vacation, and when you're on vacation, it's not reality. I don't think she did her homework. She got pregnant. She fell in love, and she looked at the world with rose-colored glasses, and she went back, and reality smacked her right in the face. Is she going to live like that? No way. She never has. She never will. This is a big problem, and I don't think she's going to stay.
And why didn't she know before that he was only making $500 a month?
That's why I said she didn't do her homework. How is she going to
She's
live
a
on
journalist.
$500 a month?
She's a journalist. She traveled abroad to do documentaries.
She's lived a privileged life. I mean, is she going to do without, and for how long?
Yeah, she's definitely not going to go into that cousin's apartment for $170 a month. I mean, it didn't even. I don't think most people wouldn't live in that if they had the opportunity to do something. It was
squalor. How are you going to live without plumbing, without a bathroom, without a kitchen? How are you going to raise a baby like that? And it's not clean. It's not hygienic. As an American, we're not accustomed to that. I mean, let's face it. I guess we're a bit spoiled, but it is what it is. And she really did not look into his lifestyle. All she saw was muscles and long hair, and that was a drawback. Also, when she saw him with his haircut, and he wasn't as muscular as he was when she first met him, and I think she kind of lost that loving feeling, to tell you the truth.
Do you think that she's going to end up returning to America?
I think so.
Carla, what do you think?
No.
You think she'll stay Ethiopia?
Yeah. Only because she's just living the cultural shock right now. She's just getting, a taste of reality. And she's expecting everything to be perfect. She's coming out there with a privileged American attitude, and she's expecting things to fall at her feet, and it's not. And Binyam is actually like, yeah, okay, I understand. Yeah, he should have been putting in a little bit more work. Yes, I understand that. But at the same time, I feel like Ariela knew what she was doing when she moved out there. She knew where she was going. She traveled out there. She met him on vacation. You're right. It wasn't reality on vacation. So when she came back and she seen that he didn't have the dreads and he didn't have the full oily body that she met when he got there, or when she got there, it was like, do I really want this? And then her mom came, was taking care of her, back to what she was used to in America, and she got back to comfortable. She got comfortable in her ways. She got set in her ways and got comfortable. So now Binyam is basically trying to, now she's using this baby as leverage, knowing that Binyam has already went through an issue with an American female and a baby already. So I feel like she's using
and it was one day.
She literally woke up and was like, I'm upset because my mom left, so I'm blaming it on you. That's basically what she did. My mom left, so I'm going to blame it on you.
And she knew, she did know too, this is, I have to say, language barrier. Thank you, Alabama Camper, for the super sticker. Language barrier. When he said, you can't go, it wasn't like, you can't leave, like scary, like Paul and Karini, you can't leave. It was more like oh no, you can't go. Like, we're doing this together. It was a more kind of like heartfelt, not a, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, and can I just say that apartment is, like you said, Adam, it's expensive even in America, for $1,400 a month. So I'm surely she could have found another apartment for half that price, or even less, a decent apartment. So I think she kind of pushed it too far out of reality, sort of thing. She knows, Binyam is not a lazy guy. He's not like, Jihoon or someone. He's trying to hustle and do whatever he can with, the environment that he lives in. He doesn't stay at home and just do nothing all day. So he's trying his best. And she knows, I'm sure she knows that he earns, around the figure that he earns. So why take him to an apartment that is way beyond his means? I'm sure.
Because you think her mama gonna send her money to pay for that apartment?
No. Well, if her mom does, then great. But don't take baby there. Don't take Binyam there to pay for it. He can't pay for it. I mean, he's going to turn into George and start selling marijuana and go to prison or something just to make her happy. But he can't afford it. If her parents want to pay for it, great, they can pay for it, but he can't afford it.
That would be the only way she's getting that apartment.
This is reminding me a lot of this Kenny and Armando situation, because Kenny went to Mexico with almost the same intentions that Ariela went to Ethiopia with. I went to vacation. He showed me around. He did this. Now I think it's going to continue to be the same thing, and I'm not going to have to do anything.
Yeah.
They thought they were going to be taken out there and taken care of, and they weren't going to have to do no work.
Except Kenny, though, is a little bit more frustrating, I have to say, because Kenny, with his like gracias, de nada, like the way he just doesn't even, it's almost like the way he comes off trying, he doesn't try to learn the culture. It's almost disrespectful the way he treats and talks to people. Like, again, the adios, what they said. I seriously feel like the people who were sitting there in that restaurant felt so insulted by him bringing 2-3 cameras behind him to make a mockery of that bathroom, that these people, this is how they live. It's not, everyone lives different. And I think that Kenny made a mockery of them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Can you drop the link for Auntie Andrea?
Yes, I'm going to go ahead. Dorit, Carla, Pearl, thank you. Thank you guys for calling in. Stay on. I'm going to bring up more people, and then at the end, I'll bring everybody back.
All right.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to drop the link for you guys. 1 second. Copied. Okay. All right, guys. So I have Jamal, Shan, and Queeno. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
Hey, Queen B. I can't believe you're here.
I did it.
Queen B, since you're first here, I'm going to let you go first. What couple do you want to sound off on?
Okay, so I wanted to sound off on 2 couples, really. Sumit and Jenny. I love Jenny. I think she's good-hearted. I think she has good intentions. I think Sumit is the biggest liar there is, because he lied to his parents. He scammed her, right? And then he catfished her. Then he brought her over while he was married. Obviously, he brought Jenny while Jenny had gone over and lived with his parents. So he's been lying to everybody. And the other couple is Brittany and Yazan. And Brittany is another one who is just an incredible liar and justifies her lies by saying, well, I'm not lying if I don't really tell him. And that's a little too much.
Well, and she goes from one extreme to the other. Brittany, she's almost like somebody who who grows a pair behind a keyboard and then they say whatever they want. Like she has that kind of thing about her where you could totally tell in person she's like, well, I'm going to be my own me, but she's still kind of a little scared to do it. But then she knows once she crosses the pond, she's like, oh, F you, I'll do whatever I want. I'll do, she grows a pair. It's a different her.
And I just wanted to mention where she's staying in Jordan is a place that I'm familiar with. And she is staying in the posh area of Amman. So if all the sheikhs and wealthy people from the Gulf states, they usually come through, and they'll come through to Jordan because it's a lot cheaper for them. Jordanians, it's very expensive to live there, but it's a lot cheaper for the Gulf states. So she has put herself in a prime area so that she can be seen and heard at all times. And she is just looking for that money.
Okay. Jamal, Shan, what do you guys think?
I'll let Shan go first.
Well, that was some tea. I just have essentially a couple of questions. What was the big deal that Tim kept some stuff at home? He wasn't going there with knowing that it was going to work out. They weren't engaged. So I don't think he should be shaded for having a quote unquote backup plan. That's just being an adult. Ariela, why did she have to bring up the man's trauma? I felt the way that she was talking to him was almost like poking. She was trying to get a reaction. And those are really that was trauma for him. Don't in a sense taunt him. And how in the heck does Jenny expect Sumit's parents to get over now that we know more of the story? That's not how can you expect that? And then my final question, isn't it Azan who's actually shaming the family, not Brittany, because he's the one that chose to be with her? Why is she getting all the the tarnished image when it's really his choice to be with her. There we go.
That's fair. I feel like for Tim and Melyza, I think it's because she feels like that's not him giving 100% because he does have a backup plan. Again, I think that she's probably like, oh, so you came here knowing that you're going to come, like, go back. You could totally tell she has that stank face, bad attitude, does not like him look all of the time. And then I feel for Jenny and Sumit, I just became Team Sumit's family after watching this. I feel, again, she was so disrespectful by doing that and hooking up with him under the house, and the little giggle that she had on in her confessional, you know they're going to see that and they're going to be annoyed by that. And then I want to say for Ariela, you're right. It did look like she was poking the bear, because if she gets a reaction, it justifies even more why she can go home. And that's what she's trying to get. She's trying to get him to react so she can. She's like, oh, you yelled at me. You yelled at me. I'm not having a good time. You only make $500 a month. This is not going to work. You yelled at me. I'm going to leave. That's what she wants. Yeah. Jamal?
So for Ariela and Binyam, in my personal opinion, here's what happened. She got to Ethiopia. She saw what he looked like, and she's like, her face just fell flat. She was just like, where's the dreads? Where's the body? She's like, this is not what I signed up for. She's like, you cut your hair. You look skinny. Like, her whole face just, like, she was just not happy. So that's where most of it started. That's where it started. I'm like, because if he had that body and that hair, she could be in a tent with an air mattress. She'd be okay. So stop it. And then my confusion with that part is, well, you said you guys were talking for a couple months before you got there. How could you not see the changes in his physique? I'm sure you guys video chatted. And I'm sure you know how much he makes per month, so why?
That's what I'm not getting. Unless, like, if she, like Carla said, she's a journalist, unless she's freelance working and making American money in Ethiopia and having it wired into her account because she's writing for different whatever. Like, I get
by her parents.
But she said she didn't want to do that, though. That's the funny part. She's like, I'm concerned that, like, I'll be the one, like, having to provide for the family because, I'm a freelance journalist. I'm like, wow, okay. Yeah, she said that. She did not.
The guy's working 5 jobs, making $500 a month.
And she can make that in 2 days, but she doesn't want to do it. She wants him to do everything as she's coming there for him. And I don't see any love between them at all. I just don't. I see no passion from her. Let me put it on her. I see no passion from her, no love from her to him, but I see the love from him to her. I'm like, she going back. And I'm with you now. Like, I was team Jenny and Sumit, but now I'm team family. I'm like, ma'am, you do not go in people's houses and sleep with their son like that. That's just rude.
You can't do that.
No, not at all. It was terrible. I thought it was the age thing. Now, with the age thing, I get, because from what I understand that culture, generally the eldest son is the one who gets, like, is expected to get married, have children, pass the family name on. He's to live with the parents, take care of the parents, and do all that stuff. That's why I thought most of their issues were. But then to hear the other side of the story, I'm like, I'd be upset too, because you saw the picture of her and her mom smiling. That kind of warmed my heart till I found out what she did. I'm like, this woman looked at you as a friend. They took you in as like a friend of the family. For you to do that to them, not good.
Yeah, I agree. Shan?
I'm with Jamal. Jamal always knows all. But really, again, how does she expect them to get over that? Maybe in her family, it's okay to have your kids sleeping with their boyfriends, girlfriends, but it wasn't just a boyfriend, girlfriend. You snuck around. Never mind.
And the parents were treating her like a friend. Listen, I might get in trouble by my family for saying this, but I have a huge family, a lot of brothers and sisters, and my sister ended up bringing one of her boyfriends back, and when we were like at the end of high school days, and hooking up with him in our guest bedroom, and my dad found out that night, freaked out, like could have yanked the guy. Like, it's just, this is, and my dad is just a big, he looks like Larry the Cable Guy, just a regular schmegular dude, you know. I couldn't imagine, he doesn't have it's nothing cultural, he just felt disrespected because you're in his house. I couldn't imagine, like, add a little bit of culture behind it, religion, your beliefs. Like, my dad's belief is like, going to work and then getting a 6-pack or something. You know, it's not like add some real beliefs in there, and you're just being incredibly disrespectful.
I'm very disappointed in that couple because, again, I think so many of us were cheering for them. So it's just really disappointing, but it is what it is, and that's why we watch the train wreck, isn't it?
It is.
And I want to say about Brittany and Yazan, I'm like, what is she doing? Like, no. And no. I'm like,
We got to cancel her.
Yeah, my whole thing with Yazan is this. I get it, you say you love her. And I'm not sure how you could love someone that much, want to marry them without sampling the goods. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just in that realm of like, and I don't see how you guys connect emotionally at all, because you guys either fight so much or you're friends.
What
like
does he love about her? Like, I would love to actually know that. What is love based on? Them
cakes. I'm sorry. That's what's called a thing. He's about them cakes, and that's all it is. She is a pretty girl.
That's what it is. It's a facade. It's the facade of it.
Right. I think he thought that he was going to bring her over and he could like teach her the ways, and then she will fall since she says she loves him. He thought that she would fall in love with his culture, his family, his way of life. He was really expecting her to like be all in, and now he's seeing that, well, you're not really all in like I thought you were, and he keeps trying to force the issue versus being like, maybe this life is just not for you.
I would like to use a word by our big Uncle Perry. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. So stop wasting your energy.
You said it, not me.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Perry. Good work.
Well, Jamal, Shan, Queen Bee, I'm going to go ahead and drop you down real quick and bring up our last few callers. And then at the end, I'll bring up everyone to say goodbye.
Nice to see you.
All right. And then I'm about to bring up Debbie, guys. I have Debbie in the room. And then I'm going to bring up Hermione with Debbie. Hi, Debbie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys? Hi, Hermione.
Hi, Debbie.
Debbie, what did you think about last night's episode? Lackluster?
It was okay. It was a little disappointing for a mid-season finale, but it did give me incentive to want to see what BS Brittany and Yazan are going to bring up when they come back in October. But I did have one question regarding Brittany. Her timeline seems to be a bit off, because remember at the beginning of the season, she said to the Florida lawyer that she forgot she was married and she needed to apply for a divorce or something like that. So how is her divorce case coming up in Chicago?
We have a break in the storyline.
That was the one thing. That, and besides the disrespect with Jenny and Sumit, that was just gross on so many different levels, because yeah, you overstay your welcome and then you shag their son in their house. For real? No. And then you wonder why they don't like you? She's lucky she didn't get stoned.
That people, I think with Jenny and Brittany and all of these people, I think what we're forgetting is, at the end of the day, with all due respect to all of these different individual countries, it's like you're entering in their country. They have a different system and ways of doing things. And you think it's like, if you go steal from Walmart here in Florida or LA or whatever, you will get a ticket and go to court and get a little citation. If you steal from, a store in some other countries, you might get your hand cut off. So it's just to give you like an idea of the difference. That you cheat on your husband or wife here, you get a divorce and you might lose half of everything. You go marry someone new, no one cares. There, you again might get stoned to death. You might die for it. It's scary.
I don't understand how she thinks that's okay. And, she can easily dismiss her actions, meaning Jenny. And then with Brittany, that little thing with running off to Chicago didn't make any sense to me. Like, did you forget that you applied for divorce or filed for divorce in Chicago when you talked to the Florida lawyer? Because I swear she said that she forgot she was married because her husband got deported back to Haiti and they couldn't find him.
Right.
So which one is it, Brittany?
So do you feel
Debbie, you are 100% right.
Yeah, I think that Debbie just caught Brittany falsifying her storyline.
And then the preview for October is her and Yazan sitting on some rocks or something with this guy who I don't know. I don't know who he is, but he's explaining that Yazan could be killed because of their actions or whatever. And she does the little really.
And then she comes back and puts the King of Jordan on blast.
Well, I think that's a completely separate story because how long ago was this film? Like the top of the year or something? When did she call out the King of Jordan? That was recently?
That was recently, right? I believe so.
Then this fool is just compounding her stupidity. Like I don't know how dumb she thinks we are. Maybe it's because, with the virus and everything, I don't have anything else better to do but look at this crap and really analyze it. But she's just a mess. And I don't understand how TLC thinks that we're dumb enough to believe this mess.
Wow.
I think it was horrible. Because they call it honor killings.
Mm-hmm. And people will give her the excuse that she's young, she didn't do her work, trying to investigate the culture, the country, the people, blah, 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 blah. It's not her first time that she's been in Jordan. She's been talking with this dude. Everybody in their family is like popping off at her. They're giving her coaching. I'm sure the producers over there and the camera folks are also saying, Brittany, don't do that. But okay, go ahead, let me film it. She knows what she's doing. But look, you see that guy, the Russian dissident that wound up getting poisoned on a plane and is now in Germany trying to fight for his life. And then another person in Russia that is also against Putin, he got beat the hell up and almost died. You don't play with countries like this. You just don't.
That's what I said on Cheryl's World. I don't want to compare these different elite people, but like we watched on Netflix the Jeffrey Epstein special and we see how much power can really just give you a lot of room to get away with things for X amount of time, right? And now we're playing with different, it's just there's an elite group of people. There's an elite group and status of people that you can't mess with. They have unlimited resources to do whatever they want. And sometimes when you start messing with people, you're not just messing with, for example, let me give you an example. If Brittany's talking about the King of Jordan, and now the King of Jordan has 10 business partners, and they feel like now this looks bad on them because she's talking about the King of Jordan's business over there and exploiting him. So now these 10 business partners feel like they're being shamed. Somebody, now that's 11 people. Somebody's going to come for her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a domino effect.
And I believe what she said regarding the King of Jordan. And here's why. It goes back to what Queen B, your last panel that you had up, regarding the area that she lives in. If that's Diplomatic Row, all of their side pieces going to be living on Diplomatic Row too, because they need to be close for convenience. Who says that she wasn't going out when Yazan wasn't there, socializing with, Bippity Boo, in apartment 2A, and finding out what she's doing. And now she's put that girl in jeopardy. There's a cause and effect for everything we do in life. And, she is old enough to know that.
You can't do that.
Yeah, I think Brittany is now like a fish out of water. She's like gasping and she doesn't know what to do.
It's almost like it's like when somebody starts like a high-speed chase and they take off and like they're going down the road and it's like, what do you do at this point? You're not going to stop. You just have to keep going until you crash or until like, It's like, I feel like you've said too much and we see that she likes her tequila. We got, who knows, whatever else, whatever. If she could have been under the influence, maybe when she said it, I don't know. But whatever it was, she had some sort of courage to speak out. And I'm sure it's also the comfort zone of being in America, which that should not be a comfort zone to you, because as other people have said on this same, on my channel, even Osama bin Laden's family, he has family that lives in America, in Delray Beach, I believe they said, in Florida. So people have access to coming here in America. I understand it's hard, but it's not impossible.
Look, the leader of North Korea killed his brother in a foreign country. You don't got to be in the same country to do what you got to do. If you want somebody eliminated, they can be.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with Brittany living her life. Go for it. Just think before you speak. How is
keep quiet.
If the ultimate goal was for her to like get elevated in her career as a rapper or model or tour guide or whatever the hell she is, right? How is this supposed to get you there? How is it? Explain. If you could explain that to me, Brittany, I will just be quiet and apologize and say, you do you, boo. Because obviously I went somewhere wrong in my life.
Well, Debbie and Hermione, before I go ahead,
I didn't give Hermione a chance to talk. I'm sorry, I'm done.
Okay, I just have 2 points.
Yeah.
Cheese stick. Was he just a filler for the episode?
I feel like their whole storyline is like a filler. He's like that. He's like Yolanda's storyline when she was with the Williams or
British
whatever.
Williams.
It's not, this storyline is just, she looks at him with such disgust. Like it's not even, it's uncomfortable to watch when she's like, she looks like she hates him. She thinks that he gained all this weight, that he's not cute, that his attitude about being there is not cute. His B plan is unattractive. The fact that her parents hate, everything is working against this couple. That's why I said we need to bury this relationship. It's doomed.
He needs to go home.
Go home.
And then my last point is about Kenny and Armando. Kenny is what, in his 50s?
Mm-hmm.
And you want to tell me he could not learn 10 words of Spanish?
I think that he didn't care to learn 10 words of Spanish. I think it's more like
so horrible.
It's almost Sherelle actually, I've never spoken with Kenny and Armando except for the one time Armando popped up on Sherelle's block party as a surprise. Super nice guy. I feel like Kenny may have went in with this like elitist attitude into Mexico, thinking like, oh, I'm white, I have privilege, I have this, that, whatever, like I can get away with anything. And people there, it's different. People are so happy just with what they have and with their families. They don't care who he is or that he has any sort of blonde hair. Like it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yes. Then why aren't they living in Cancun?
I don't know why they wouldn't go to a more touristy kind of area that it would have been easier for him to ease into. Also, he's in his 50s, so he had to have come to Mexico with some. He can't be just broke, right? He has to have something.
He has to have Google.
Maybe the area that they're living in is not as touristy, so they're getting a cost savings for living in a tourist accommodation, which could be a bit more expensive if they were in Cancun or somewhere on the west coast of Mexico is equally as expensive because they are very touristy. Yeah. Even if they got a long-term rental, you're still going to pay a lot more for that.
Then he should have saved more.
Well, I don't know. I just don't understand why he didn't bring them here.
Unless it has something to do with the daughter that we don't know about.
But we do know about his little girl.
No, but I mean, is there anything that could prevent him from bringing her?
No, because her mom is passed.
So there's nothing preventing. That's the thing. Is like, I think that's everyone's number one question is why would Armando not have just come to Florida and tried out entertaining this new life that obviously would have been, from what we're seeing in the episodes, a little bit of an improvement, right? I'm sure. And that's nothing, again, no shade or disrespect. From the conditions, I think it would have been a little bit better of living conditions for his daughter. I don't know why they didn't come to Florida. Yeah. Everyone thinks that maybe Armando can't get to the US for some reason.
Oh, and I do have one more thing to say about Ariela. If she's a journalist, why wasn't she asking questions when she was on the phone or on FaceTime all of those months? Like, who, what, when, where, why, how?
I think it's hard to ask the hard questions when it pertains to your life. It's like easier to avoid them. You just run away, and it's like, okay. And then when you have to finally face it, it's like, it's almost like when you get what you pay for, which I learn all the time on Amazon. But it's like you just, yeah. I feel like she tried to avoid these questions.
Hormones? Could it be hormones? I mean, I was Godzilla when I was pregnant.
It could be. I mean, I've never been pregnant, but I feel like it could be.
Those hormones did not kick in until her mom left. Her hormones did not kick in until her mom left. And when her mom left, the wallet left, the bank account left. Her parents have been subsidizing her for over a decade, whether she's overseas or back home. I mean, I can say I'm a journalist too. Yeah, I can say I'm a journalist too. That doesn't mean that I know how to write a damn thing.
Well, Debbie, Hermione, thank you guys so much for calling in. I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping this up and say goodbye to everybody else. And tonight we're doing Super Bravo Tuesday. So if you guys are around, I'm bringing on Danny Pellegrino, who has his own podcast. He interviews like all of the Bravo people. He's been doing it for like 2 years and wrote a book with Tom and Ariana from Vanderpump Rules. So he has a lot of insight. So tonight's going to be a good Super Bravo Tuesday at 6 p.m. PST if you can make it.
One more question. Where's Jason?
So we're doing Popping Off with Pops on Friday, and I think I asked him, when are you coming on? He said, I want us to come on in my own way and surprise them. I think it's like a Cirque du Soleil, like he did his thing for 13 years and now he wants to have his own entrance. That's fine, but you're just not taking over my show. So it's so fun. I feel like when you guys see him too, we did this thing for, just a side note, we did this thing for like, I think it was Cake Wars or something, Food Network, where they wanted us to come on and design our wedding cake. And we had to sit there and answer questions back and forth. And we're like ripping each other's head off. And the producer's like, is this real? And I'm like, shit, like, Jason, you're messing this up for us. We're supposed to get this free kit. Like we go back. It's ridiculous. Our relationship is ridiculous, but I guess we're just two different people. I guess that's why it works. I don't know.
Oh, please do it in my time zone.
Yeah, he's coming soon. He's actually behind this wall right here. But thank you, Hermie, and thank you, Debbie. Thank
Lots
you
of love.
We'll see you tonight.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye. All right, guys. So with that being said, thank you also for the super stickers today. Thank you, Melody. I didn't miss the super sticker. I appreciate you. And I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to everybody. We went over an hour time. So I'm going to do the 20-second roulette thing in the room where I just bring up a name. You have 20 seconds to just say what you're looking forward to next episode. Just pick a couple, what we're looking forward to seeing the most next episode. First up, Pearl. Hi, Pearl.
Hi, Adam. Okay. First of all, I love you, Debbie. You nailed all the points and you preached tonight. So well done. So what I'm looking forward to the face-off with Sumit's parents, honestly. Like, I'm just like you. My position has changed completely. I used to think Jenny was this innocent person in love. I didn't know all this backstory behind it. So I'm totally on the parent side now. And I want them to speak their minds to him freely. So I'm looking forward to him walking into that room more than anything else, really. So,
all right. I love that. Yeah. Thank you, Pearl. Thank you for calling in. We'll see you tonight.
See you later.
All right. All right. Next up, Dorit.
I agree. I'm looking for Sumit and Jenny. I'd like to see her parents nail her ass to the wall. Because
I love that you're a New Yorker and you're so straight up.
Yeah, if she did that in my house, believe me, it would be World War III.
Would she have been dragged out of the house?
Absolutely. Messing around with Sumit in their home, up in the bedroom there. She's 30 years older than he is. Where's the respect?
I agree.
Another real quick thing about Brittany and Yazan. Did you catch at the end where his father said that he's going to be the one that's going to murder him?
No.
Yeah, watch the show. He did. He said that. She's really setting herself up because that is taboo. It's well known in the Middle East, in all the kingdoms, not just Jordan. But you don't talk about it unless you want to lose your life.
See, that's what we keep saying is you have to keep your mouth shut. Again, it's nothing to even play around. I think we're all genuinely afraid for her if she doesn't shut up.
Oh, she needs to. Absolutely. Okay, Adam, thank you. I love you. And congratulations on your 10,000 plus.
Thank you, Dorit. And anytime you call in, you always have a place here. I love that you're straight up, and I love a good New York personality and input.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye. All right. Next we have Shan.
Hey, what am I looking forward to? I'm actually looking forward to the break. I'm actually looking forward to the mid-season break because I just feel week after week, it's just, I need a break.
You need to break up the monotony of just 90 Day the other way?
It is. It's because nothing seems sincere. I need a break.
I have to say, again, I always like to lead with no disrespect because this isn't disrespect. I feel like the TLC people are going to watch this and they're going to be like, you're bashing the show. No, you can't get an interview. So I lead with no disrespect. But I did feel like this episode to cap us off mid-season was a little lackluster. I wasn't on the edge of my seat. And I know this is a different franchise, but I feel like New York is going to do that for us too for our finale. I'm not looking forward. I hope it's good. But Shan, with that being said, stay tuned and come back for Super Bravo Tuesday. Danny Pellegrino's coming on tonight. He has so much insight. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It will be. Always there. Thanks, Adam.
Bye. All right. And Lady O.
Hey, so I'm a straight up New Yorker as well. And I have to say, I'm looking forward to seeing thirsty but old, saggy Jenny get dragged by Sumit's parents. Because let me tell you, if she visit his family and stay for 4 months, there's no way this lady didn't know that he was arranged for marriage or already in an arranged marriage. So I'm not buying it. She's gross and she looks like an old thought. So she's looking bad.
That's something we didn't even think about. That is just she had to have known about the arranged marriage. She befriended his parents. She knew.
You would have seen the girl. You would have heard conversations. That's a whole bag of lies.
Holy crap.
And I want to add something. Shan had mentioned that, she didn't understand why Brittany was getting all the slack. I want her to Google Banaz Mahmood in London. So honor killings. When Dorit just talked about the father said, I will kill him myself. It is known. We're saying that Brittany is wrong because he's trying to tame her, so to speak, and trying to make her acceptable in the community so that she won't put shame on the family. And so that's why we're giving her a hard time. But, if they do something to Brittany, for sure, it's going to be done to Yazan as well first. So that's what we were saying. We weren't saying we're putting all the blame on her just because of who she is. He's going to get what he's going to get from his family. But if they can get a hand on her, they'll also get a hand on her. That's what I wanted to say. Just to clarify with the cultural, we weren't just putting it all on the girl. Oh, yeah, so okay. Google Banaz Mahmood in the UK. If you're not familiar with Arabic culture, give it a go on YouTube. You can watch a whole documentary.
Banaz Mahmood. Okay.
It'll give you a little insight.
All right. I see Shan down at the bottom typing it in. All right, Lady O. Thank you so much
take care, Adam.
I appreciate the insight, and if you can, try to make it tonight for Super Bravo Tuesday. I can't talk.
Of course I will. I'm there every day. I might not call in, but I'm always there supporting you. So
we love you, Lady O. Thank you.
Take care, guys.
All right, guys. Wow, some tea dropped. Again, guys, we have to keep our mouth shut. Brittany, I don't know what you're doing. Ariela, are we going to see her end up going back to America, or is she going to stay in Ethiopia? Jenny, I think we're all really peeved with you. I just want to say that. We're fed up with Jenny. Tim and Melyza, let's cut this storyline. We've had enough. Did I miss anybody? Kenneth and Armando, Kenny, learn, again, like Debbie said, 10 words of Spanish. It's not that hard. Or Hermione. And thank you, Hermione, for the super sticker. Deavan and Jihoon, we know that doesn't work. She got Jihoon 2.0. And yeah, that's what it is. So guys, tonight we have a lot of fun topics to cover for Super Bravo Tuesday. If you haven't already, like this video. It helps us tremendously. Tonight's topics, we're going to cover Dorinda potentially coming back to the Real Housewives of New York before she's actually gone a season without being a part of it. there's some Bravo insight to be had. We also find out about a new potential Real Housewife of New York castmate and Chriselle Strauss joining Dancing with the Stars. We have so many other topics, and Danny Pellegrino joining us. So I'll see you guys tonight. And I'm going to work on this camera. See you guys soon. Bye, guys. Except for you, Jolene. And